Om Namo Narayana, Pranam Swamiji. A very warm welcome to one and all. Sorry. Today is the 11th class of Tattvabodha. After completing Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti, Swamiji entered into the topic. The next topic, and the study of Vedanta is not something to be forcefully done. Knowing the ephemerality of things, the mind starts to inquire what is real and what is unreal. That is a time when one starts inquiry, the Tattva Vichara. There the question comes, Tattva Vivekaha Kaha? That is the next topic. The answer is Atma Satyam Tadanyat Sarva Mithyeti. Tattva means reality and Viveka means discrimination. Knowing clearly what is real and what is unreal is Viveka. It is a direct experience and not a scholarly qualification. Real is called Satyam and the unreal is called Mithya. Atma alone is Satyam and all other things in the universe are unreal. To know real and unreal, one should know its definitions. Atma is not available to be defined as an object. So, it is defined as Sakshat Aparokshat Brahma or Sakshat Aparokshat Atma. Brahma and Atma are synonymous. Atma is directly knowing without a medium. Mediums are sense organs, the mind, and intellect. This topic is both abstract and subtle. Scholarly learning does not directly help in this. The answer to the question Tattva Vivekaha Kaha can be seen in two parts. One is Atma Satyam, the first part, and Tadanyat Sarva Mithyeti is the second part. Sat means existence. Existence is the nature of Atma. Existence is of two types, absolute existence and relative existence. Atyantika Sat and Apekshika Sat. Absolute Sat is defined as Trikala Apaditatvam Satyatvam, the existence that cannot be negated in all three periods of time. Another definition is Trikali Apitishtati, that which is there eternally in all three periods of time. Swamiji explained these elaborately and very beautifully. It is not possible to name anything which is always there without any change other than Atma. The whole universe, including my body, senses, intellect, and ego, all of this change. So, the definition says, Satyam exists forever. This is the nature of Atma. Then comes the second part, Tadanyat Sarva Mithyeti. Other than this, everything else is Mithya. This is also a word used very often in Vedanta. The real existence is Atma. Atma alone is Satyam. Everything else that is not known as Atma is Mithya. When we say Mithya, it does not mean it is non-existent or a vacuum, a shunyam. Swamiji gives a beautiful definition for Mithya as appeared reality or false reality. It seems to be real, but it is not real or as though real. A second meaning for Mithya in the method of Vedanta is superimposition. An object can be superimposed on another object, a real vastu. Here, the universe is the object superimposed on Atman or Brahman, which is the Adhisthana. Vedanta says that the whole world in front of us is appeared reality. This concept is one of the great contributions of Vedanta. Atma Satyam, Jagat Mithya is the foundation of Advaita Vedanta. Next, Swamiji talked about how to identify Maya. It is said in Sanskrit, Jnana Nivartyatvam Mithyatvam. Mithyatvam disappears when knowledge comes. Without real knowledge, that is when you understand something with ignorance, is Mithya. When Jnanam comes, it is real knowledge. That is Satyam. The first understanding is Mithya and the second understanding with knowledge is Satyam. Further, on to Swamiji. Hari Om.
Srutismritipurananamalaya karunalayam namami bhagavatpadam Shankaram lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krito Vande Bhagavando Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Vasudevendra Yogendram Natva Jnanapradam Gurum Mumukshonam Hidarthaya Tattvabodho Bhidhiyate. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Namo Narayana to all. So we have learned what is Tattva Viveka. The direct definition of Tattva Viveka. Atma Satyam Tadanyat Sarva Mithya iti. Atman is the only reality. Other than Atman is non-Atman, non-self. Is Mithya, is appeared to be real. So the reality and non-reality, two opposite terms we used here. And we can say this is the essence of Vedanta. We have much elaboration about this in Vedanta. So Atma, when we say Atma is the only reality, so whatever appears as real must be based on that. Because without a substratum, nothing can appear. So the appearance needs to be based on something. So this is the wonderful revelation of Vedanta. Now we have to inquire what is Satyam and how we can realize that. Other than Atma, if everything is Mithya, superimposed, now how it is experienced? What is the experience there? So to know this, we are going to start the Tattvabodha with the discrimination of Tattva, the reality. For this, in Vedanta, many methods used for the discrimination, how to discriminate Atma and Anatma. So there are methods called Karya Karana. So you can note down these names of the methods so that when I refer to this, you will get some idea of what I'm talking about. So the Karya Karana, cause-effect relation. So something is established based on this theory of cause and effect. Basically, it says the effect is nothing but cause. There is no effect other than cause, but the cause is different from the effect. We will elaborately learn this in our further discussion. And the other method is used is Drik Drishya Viveka. Drik Drishya Viveka. Viveka, the word you already learned that discrimination is called Viveka. So Drik Drishya means discriminating the seer and the seen, the object and subject, the discrimination of object and subject. That's called Drik Drishya Viveka. So then there is Panchakosha Viveka and Stula Sukshma Karna Sharira Viveka, Avasthatraya Viveka. So we will learn that there is sentence regarding this. Then one important method, we can say the mother of all methods, the whatever method used in Vedanta to discriminate Atma and Anatma, or the whole Vedanta is based on this method. It is called Adhyaropa Apavata. Adhyaropa Apavata. So two words combined. Adhyaropa Apavata. It means Adhyaropa is attribution. Apavada means negation. So theory of attribution and negation. In other words, we can say superimposition and negation method. This is called Adhyaropa Apavada. It is really interesting to know how Vedanta established the Atman is the only reality, and then other than Atman, Tadanyat, other than Atma, everything is unreal. So this method is used there. So you can pronounce and practice this Adhyaropa Apavata, Drigdrishya Viveka, Karya Karana Viveka, or Karya Karana Ananyatva, because these terms we frequently use. Now, just to introduce what is this Adhyaropa Apavata, attribution negation theory. Brahman has no names and forms. It is beyond names and forms. Brahman is attributeless. There is no attribution. So no qualities, no form. And name is also just for, to indicate something. That name is used as Brahman. Now, how we know this? If there is no name, no form, no attribution, no qualities, no action, actionless, nishkriya. And how can we know? Because our mind has no capacity to grasp something like this, which has no names and form. If we say it is only knowledge, now what is knowledge? So knowledge is also formed in mind. It is a thought process. So is the thought process is Brahman? No, it cannot be. So what the scriptures do, the Upanishads do, this attributionless Brahman is attributed with some qualities. Just for our understanding. Just for the sake of learning. So in order to establish the nature of Brahman, some attribution, some superimposition is done by the scriptures. So it says the Brahman is the creator. Brahman is the creator and the material cause of the creation. So it is called Karana. Now, when we know that Brahman is material cause of the world, the whole universe, so we think about something great. In our mind, we can just assume something greatest, because this universe itself is beyond our reach. If the Brahman is cause of this universe, it must be the greatest reality. So therefore, this cause theory is attributed to the Brahman. And then it says, because only with material cause, nothing can be created. So there must be a creator. Otherwise, the creation cannot happen. So when we ask who is the creator of the world, so then the Vedanta says, again, another attribution, the Brahman itself is the creator. So when we say Brahman, it is, as according to the grammar, it is neuter general. And when we say it is the creator, then it becomes masculine. The creator, because we want a person there. So therefore, this is all attribution, no adhyaropa, superimposition. So then it says, the creator, after creating the world, the creator himself entered into the world. Each and every object is based on Brahman, and in that Brahman is abiding. So the Brahman is called Andaryami. So then again we ask, if Brahman has no qualities, without qualities, without qualification, how can Brahman create? Because when we see in our this empirical world, if somebody is doing something, he has qualities, he is qualified for that. If somebody is making writing or building or something, any action, the creator, the doer must have some qualities. So if Brahman is qualityless, without quality, how can Brahman create this world? So this doubt comes to us. So again, there is answer for this. Then Vedanta says, you see, Brahman has a special superpower that is called Maya. So this Maya is also another attribution. Now the Maya has all the qualities, the Sattva, Raja, Tama, and the karmas, everything is there. Whatever needed for the creation, it's all, everything is there. So therefore, the Maya is attributed. So now you see how many attributions into the nature of Brahman. With all this attribution, we get some idea what this Brahman is, what we are talking about. So the mind has some support. Mind can just think about that, contemplate on that. So it get it wants to get some more information, some more details about this. So then Upanishads go on talking on this and in different aspects of Brahman, different aspects of Maya, and elaborating and making stories of creation. Everything happens. So now we know how this Brahman is all pervading. Because Brahman created this world. Therefore, Brahman is all pervading. Now, how is the Brahman is the indweller of all beings? How is the Brahman is indweller of all beings? Because the creator himself entered into this created objects. So we got some idea. Oh, this is what this Brahman is. Brahman is all pervading and the creator of the world and the material cause of the world. So we need all these ideas to make a thought on Brahman. Some conception, no, something is something is not, some object is there. Now once you know this, once it is proved and experienced that Brahman is the creator, Brahman is the ultimate cause of the creation, and this is okay. So it means everything what we see is the manifestation of Brahman or modification of Brahman. So this we know. And how Brahman does all this? With the support of Maya, the creative power of Brahman. So we got an idea about this Brahman. Then the second part comes, apavada, negation. So when he's got, okay, you understood that Brahman is this, Brahman is all pervading because of this, and everything, it is based on Brahman. Brahman is the fundamental cause. So after this thought, the negation says, whatever you grasp with the name, connected to names and forms, is not the actual reality. So the negation starts. And then comes neti neti, not this, not this. The creation is not the nature of Brahman. Creation is superimposed, because the actual cause, if we see the actual cause, there is no creation in that. It's only of modification. The ultimate cause is unchangeable. There is no change, no modification is that. So this way, the negation comes. So the two parts, adhyaropa and apavada. So now, if you take this method, connecting with the other methods, karya karana, cause and effect, and drik drishya, seer and seen, these are to just establish the existence of Brahman, the presence of Brahman, and just to inform you that this is how you can meditate on Brahman. So now, in all this, like we have seen Atma Satyam. So it means Atma is the only reality, because other than Atma, everything is superimposed on Atma. Therefore, Atman is the only reality. And therefore, it is called Mithya, because there is no other way. The ultimate cause is without qualities. Now, if you attribute any quality, how can be that real? So it's a form, it's an action just attributed to that. So there is no form in that. The last session we have, took an example of this book, because we don't change the examples constantly. Again it should be explained. Now we will take the same example. So there is no object, there is no reality for the book. Book is a bounded bundle of papers. So we call it book because we see the form. The pulse in that, whatever the material cause of that. That is real. So for that, we should be informed. We should get some knowledge about the object, what we see. In order to establish this theory, Vedanta takes the cause and effect theory. Because we should know what is the cause of this creation. So if the cause is real, the ultimate cause is the real, then what is the cause? So therefore, this cause and effect theory is established. Similarly, each theory has some significance, some special point, some establishing some special point. Now, because we are talking now on the theory of Vedanta, so we are learning different technical terms. With this, one more thing we learned today. So, about anaditva. So whatever is there, like Atma, now Atma self is anadi. It's called anadi in Sanskrit. It's translated as beginningless. Adi means beginning. Anadi means beginningless. Now in Vedanta, the six tattvas, six tattvas called anadi. So there are 6 things beginningless. So how we know what is beginningless, why it is called beginningless? Because no cause is found for this. So it is not created. So we learned that which are the 6 beginningless in Vedanta. Beginningless, what you say, the tattvas, the existence. Now one is called jiva. Jiva is beginningless. Ishvara is beginningless. You can note down all this. Jiva and Ishvara. The third one is Vishuddha Chit, pure consciousness. And the fourth one is Jiva Ishvara Bheta. The difference between Jiva and Ishvara. The difference between Jiva and Ishvara is also beginningless. And the fifth one is avidya, that we already know, ignorance. And the sixth one, the last one, is the reflection of consciousness on avidya. Or the combination of consciousness and ignorance. Now it's an opposite idea, how the consciousness is combined with ignorance. So this is called reflective consciousness. Reflective consciousness. So there is a sloka for this. One verse is very famous. I will chant that later on. We will share in the group the Sanskrit verse. We will share it. Just chant that's how it comes. Jiveshwara Vishuddha Chit Tatha Jiveshwarayor Bhita Avidya Tachchider Yogaha Shadasmagam Anadayaha. So these are called anadi, beginningless existence or substance or something we can say. All these are the Shadasmagam Anadayaha. So in this, the jiva the individual consciousness, and the Ishvara, the supreme consciousness, the creator, and the Vishuddhachit, the pure consciousness. So how we differentiate all this? Now, Jiva, what we call as the knower, the the personality, that is Jivatma, the doer and the knower, that's called Jivatma, the individual consciousness. Then Ishvara, the creator of the world. The Ishvara is with Maya, the creator of the universe. And Vishuddhachit, the pure consciousness, is without attribution. Now we were talking about this attributions theory. So the Vishuddhachit, the pure consciousness, is without any attribution. So now you see the difference. The Vishuddhachit is pure consciousness, and the Ishvara is the creator and indweller of all beings and all those qualified consciousness with Maya. And the Jiva is again personal consciousness, a personality, the consciousness that limited in this body, limited in this mind. So that is called Jiva. Now the fourth one is Jiveshwara or Bhita, the difference between Ishvara and Jiva. Now actually there is no difference. If we see from the ultimate, the consciousness, from that point of view, there is no difference, because the consciousness is all pervading and one and the same. But here there is difference between the creator and the created. Now, Jiva and Ishvara, although both are consciousness, but both have their limitations. Both are different with their qualifications. Now, Jiva has the mind as its medium, mind and intellect as its medium, and the Ishvara, the creator, as the medium as Maya, the creative power. So with that power, the creator Ishvara is creating the world. Now this Jiva cannot create the world. That is the difference. Although Jiva is also consciousness, but Jiva it cannot create the world, because Jiva has no power, that's Maya. So therefore it cannot create. It cannot create the earth, it cannot create the water, it cannot create the fire, no, like that. So this is the difference. Therefore, the Jiva become devotee to the God, the creator. The Jiva is praying to the creator. So that this difference is also beginningless. Then avidya. So we can't say when the ignorance started. When we become jivas, and when we came to this creation, we don't know. So there is no beginning of ignorance. Therefore, the ignorance is also beginningless. Tatchider yogaha. Now, how this ignorance is reflected, or on the ignorance, how the consciousness is reflected? What is the connection between ignorance and the consciousness? So this is Tatchider Yoga. It is called Tatchider Yoga. Avidya and the consciousness. Both are seemingly connected, because in this jiva, this limited consciousness, individual consciousness, both are become one, superimposed on us. So now we think about ourselves with the limited knowledge and limited abilities, although our inherent nature is Brahman. So this is the combination here that's also beginningless. So this all theory, whatever today we learned, it's all technical. No, it's all the technical things when we talk about Vedanta, because I wanted to introduce all these points here. Again, the next sentence, we will elaborate this. From here, we are going to learn these things with more elaboration, with more examples and like that. So therefore, it will help to understand the other sentences. Now, the next sentence, here the question is asked. Now you are talking about Atma. Now, who is this Atma? What is this Atma? What is the nature of Atma? How we can identify and experience Atma? So the question is asked. Reading the text. Atma kaha sthula sukshma karana sharirad vediriktaha panchakoshatitaha san avasthatraya sakshi Satchidananda Swarupaha san yastisthati sa atma. That is self, that is Atma. Now, we always talk about ourselves. Myself, yourself, ourself. So we talk about this. But we don't know what we are experiencing. When we talk about self, we are not actually realizing what the self is. So now the self is identified with the body and mind and its actions. So therefore, to distinguish self from these objects, the Vedanta talks about that. There is no other way but to realize the self and separate the self from the other objects. So here, the misidentification and superimposition on other objects, everything has happened. And this is as we said, it's all because of ignorance. And that ignorance is beginningless. Now, analyzing what Atma is with the three methods, we are going to learn three methods in here to just to know what the Atma is. When the non-self is negated, what remains is the pure self. This is the method used here. When the non-self is negated and separated, then what we experience, what remains there, must be the self, pure self. And as I said, we never experience our own absence. Our own absence is never experienced. I am never, ever absent. The world gets lost in my presence. So whatever is created is created in my presence. And it gets lost in my presence. So in this way, witness of all the negations, witness of all the presence and absence, that is Atma. Now, when we practice this, in the beginning, initially, we just know what the mind is. We can take our own mind and contemplate on that. How thoughts comes to the mind and stay for a while and disappear. So the witness is there. So we witness what is happening there. So this is the method used here. So we see the word meaning. Sthula Sukshma Karana Sharirat Vediriktaha. The first part, or we can say the first method. The translation is Sthula Sukshma Karana Sharirat. So the gross body is called Sthula Sharira, the physical body. Sukshma Sharira is subtle body, the mind, the psychic body. And the third one is Karana Sharira, is causal body. The inherent tendencies as the cause of the creation of thoughts. The inherent tendencies in our mind, which is the cause of the creation of thought process. So that is Karana Sharira. So here the Karana Sharira will be defined as ignorance itself. So now we have not only one body, but three bodies in three different levels. Okay. Gross body, what we know as body, that is gross body, called Sthula Sharira. And within that body, the elemental body, the subtle body, that is called Sukshma Sharira. Then beyond that, actually, it can only be, experienced in deep sleep, what is the causal body, now the nature of the causal body. So karna sharirat vediriktaha. Now the self is distinct from stula sharira, sukshma sharira, and karna sharira, from all these bodies. So one should identify the distinction of Atman from these bodies. This is the meditation here. This is how we are going to experience Atman. Now, Stula, Sushma, all the bodies. Now we know what is this Stula Sharira. Now, how we are identified with this body also we know. Because in our experience, this is what we are, the body with the physical body. We think I am, when we think I am this body. I am a human being. So our personality and identification with this body. Now, how this Atma is different from this body, how Atma, self, is distinct from this body. To know this, we should take up the Drigdrishya Viveka. Drigdrishya Viveka, we already know, seer and seen. Seer and seen is called Drik and Drishya. Viveka is discrimination. So this theory we are going to use. The statement is, whatever is seen, whatever is perceived, is not the perceiver. The perceiver is different from the perceived. In other words, simply we can say the subject, the knower, is different from the object. Now, what we call as object? What is object? We know object is different from us. Object is not me. So when we see an object, we are seeing the book in front of us. The book is an object, so it is different from me. I am the perceiver of the object. I can't identify myself with the book. I cannot say I am book. Can we ever say this? No, it's not possible. It is utterly awkward to say I am this book. So now you see this difference. We are very clear about this. This is very, obviously known that that difference is there. Now, what we can say is, where there is objectification, there is difference. Okay? If you objectify your mind, it means you are seeing it as you see the book, you see the mind. So mind become an object of you, object for you. So the mind is different. We see our body as also an object. Our body cannot be considered as the subject. Although we have a close relation with the body, without body we can't live. We cannot think about how we are without body. This is true, but this is not reality. Reality is something different. We are not leaving this body, we leave this body. We separate this body. Every day we separate this body. You know when we separate with this body? No. So you see, when you go to sleep, when you go to sleep, this body is lying on the bed. This body is sleeping. And there you see dreams. You are doing, you are traveling, you are going to your friend's house, here and there, doing all the things there. Now, this body cannot travel. This body is lying on the bed and the room is closed. It cannot go out. Or then who is traveling there? And we experience that we are traveling. I'm meeting the friend, and it was a good time, everything you experience. As true, as real as the waking state. Now, if this body is yourself, you are this body, then it cannot happen. Because then you should see yourself sleeping on, not going around. So it means in the dream state, we take some other body. Our existence is different from this existence. So this is what is happening. Now, in the waking state, of course, we cannot separate ourselves from this body. Because the waking state, the sense organs are connecting with the objects, and all the elements are working with the objects like that. So we perceive objects and enjoy them. All this process is happening. So we are unable to separate our mind. So this Sthula Sharira, the gross body, is identified as self, but it is not right. It's misidentification. And each time we change our identification and our personality, along with the changes of the body. So in childhood, we thought ourselves as a child. In teenage, we thought like that. In youth, our mind changed. And now in old age, we think ourselves as an old person. So it's different. Now you just think about that. What is happening here? Why this self is always changing? How it is changing? But it is not really changing. The changes are happening in the body. So we are misidentified. Ourselves is the body. So we say, these are happening to me. Really not. So this is a difficult task for us to separate ourselves from this body-mind complex. So that is Sthula Sharira Vetirikta Tirtha. So just whatever we discussed just now, we can contemplate on this more seriously with the logic and with our experiences. Then the correct identification with the self or the reflection of self will come. So therefore, Atma is distinct from, separate from this Sthula Sharira. Similarly with the Sukshma Sharira. The Sukshma Sharira, as we know, a subtle body, we can say mental body, that we say as a physical body. The Sukshma Sharira is psychic body. So it's mind only. And we take the dream for the sake of understanding, to establish this. So whatever we experience in the dream, we experience with this body, the psychic body. So the experience there is separate from the experience of this gross body. Whatever we experience in the dream as dream only. We cannot bring those experiences, those good and bad experiences, to the waking state, because those experience has no reality in this waking state. There is no reality. So therefore, this difference we can see. Now that psychic body is not only working in dream state, but also in waking state. It is always there, because we cannot separate that from us. Where there is mind, the mental body is there. All the emotions are there. So now those emotions, those mental thoughts working through this physical body. So this waking state, because that what we experience, we experience with the waking state, with the physical body in waking state. That is the difference. The same mind, same emotions come here and then connect with this gross body. So those experiences are also object of Atman, because those experiences, as the same experience we experience in the waking state, they are also objects. Therefore, as we said, if those are object, it cannot be me. It is not me. Like we won't say, what if we saw an elephant in dream, we never say that elephant was me. No, we cannot say that the elephant was separate from me, because I was afraid of that elephant. If I am that elephant, then how I am afraid of that elephant? So we can certainly say that elephant, the object what we saw in the dream, is separate from me. It is not me. Now, we should remember this point. What we call as me, I am, and what we call as not me, this is the Satyam and Mithya. Say comparison. What is Satyam, what is Mithya? Is like this. It goes like this. It's a second level of understanding of Satya and Mithya. So what is me? Because it is said Atma is the only reality. Atma is Satyam. So what is me is Satyam. It must be Satyam. And what is not me must be Mithya, unreal. Now, where we can draw the line? What is Satyam? What is Mithya? What is me? What is not me? So this is the interesting point of Vedanta. How you draw this line of separation, discrimination. So find out, do a serious inquiry. Now, pursue this point where I can draw this line. Why sometimes I say I am this body, and sometimes I say I am not this body. So think about this. We'll learn the rest of the sentences next section, because here, as I said, 3 methods are defined. So the first one, we just introduced the first one, Sthula Sushma Karana Sharirat Vyatiriktaha. So Atma is distinct from gross body, subtle body, and causal body. Okay. Now, over to you for the question related to this. Harihi Om, Om Namo Narayana.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Om Hari Om.
Swamiji, the question is, Swamiji said, Ishvara can create, has got the ability to create, not Jiva, but it says there are Ishvara Srishti and Jiva Srishti. How can we understand, Swamiji?
Yeah. Actually, Jiva Srishti and Ishvara Srishti we separate just for the sake of understanding. There is no Jiva Srishti at all. The Jiva Srishti, the creation of Jiva, what it is said in Panchadashi, Jagradadi Vimokshanta Srishtir Jivena Kalpita. That is what is said in Panchadashi. Jagradadi Vimokshanta Srishtir Jivena Kalpita. It means the creation of Jiva, that we think that we created we build the house, we are creating every day, we are creating food for our meal, and there are so many creations. But it's not really. It's only we are mixing it. So what we are building the house, how we build the house. Nothing is created there. We just bring different materials and put them together. The design made by the architect, and then we call it, we created this. Nothing is created. So Panchadashi says, what we can create now? You can create your Jagrat. So Jagradadi Vimokshanta. So your waking state, that you can create it, because if you want to sleep, you can sleep. If you want to wake, you can wake. That's in your hands. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So then Jagrat, and then you say, I am a family woman, and I have my family. So this is your creation. So you connect with people, or connect with objects, and the relations you create. Yeah, like that, if you are doing some job, your qualification, your profession, everything is created by you because you can change it. The truth is, what is created by Jiva is changeable. And what is created by Ishvara is unchangeable. That you and me cannot change. So therefore, this separation is there. So I can change my waking state, and I can change my sleep time. I can change my job. I can change my family. I can I can do all this. I can change my mind if I want. I don't want to enjoy certain objects. I can leave them off. If I want to get rid of some activity, I can do that. I can change my living place. I can change my home and all this. So this is all creation of Jiva, because we are able to change all this. And what is created by Ishvara, it cannot be changed. So therefore, this is another interesting subject. So what is the creation of? So now, superimposition, what we call as superimposed and attributions. So it is a creation of Jiva, because it is unreal. It's attributed for some time and we change. Like sometimes we are happy, then the attributions changes. The person in front of us is very loving and very friendly and very good because we are happy. And when our mind changes, the love and happiness disappears, and the person who was just half an hour before a good person, now he become or she become a bad person. Now who created this? The goodness and badness is created by me. Therefore, this is Jiva creation. So this is how we understand this.
But Swamiji, Ishvara's creation also, that way we have to say that it is unreal, mithya, because the samashti
No, that is not in comparison with this. Unreal, how can we say unreal? Because that is permanent, comparatively permanent. We can't do anything with that creation. We cannot change the earth, water, air, ether. No, we cannot change them. What we are changing? Nothing. We cannot change anything. So the God's creation is comparatively real and permanent. Therefore, the difference is there. Ultimately, when we say the ultimate reality is something different, it is not by the Jiva, but there the changes are not happening. We are knowing the ultimate cause of the creation, the reality of the creation, but nothing is changed there.
Yes.
The changing is impossible for Jiva. The changing of the creation, nothing is possible.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Okay.
Yeah.
Om Swamiji.
Yeah.
Swamiji, last class we spoke about mithya and you gave the example of the book. The book is a pure reality because it is essentially made up of papers.
Yeah.
So in this case, can we consider the paper also as mithya? Because if we look at any objects in the external world, eventually we can break them down into some other object.
Yeah, of course. That is why we call this ultimate reality, the ultimate cause. So the ultimate adjective is used for the cause. For the book, papers are immediate cause. So these two words, the ultimate cause and immediate cause in comparison we use. Because otherwise, no, we cannot take any example. Now, if I say the cause of this book is atoms or molecules or particles, now who knows all this? We cannot see, no? We need to have this atomic microscope to see all these. Yes. So we cannot take as an example. For example, we need to take the immediate causal. The ultimate cause is ultimately not. So by gradually by inquiry, we know. So obviously we have take all this non-causes and non-cause and non-effects for our examples for the purpose of studying. Yeah.
Okay. And related doubt, Swamiji, you are speaking about dream state and the objects in the dream state, the elephant. So can we consider the objects in the, do we consider the objects in the dream state also as a part of mithya, or is it something?
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, they are all because the experience there, the memory after the dream, that is satya, because that is there. The memory is there always. But the object what we saw there is mithya.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a difference, no? Whatever happens, good or bad, wrong or right, we remember all of them.
Yes.
We can't forget them.
Yes.
But the reality is different. The object may differ, object may change, but the knowledge, the cognitions, the memory, it remains.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Om Hari Om.
Swamiji, you had mentioned that when Dr. Kamlaji had asked that Jiva's creation is limited, but isn't Jiva's creation also a part of the overall Ishvara's creation?
Yeah, in that way we can say that it is part of, because the whole creation is one. Okay, so this body, that physical body, can we say that this body is created by us? Now, your body and my body, I can't say my body is created by me, the physical body even. So now who created this? Who is the creator? So immediately when we see, we can say our parents, they created our body. If you ask our parents, so they say, no, yeah, because we were only medium to create this. We are not responsible for this creation. If you ask why you created me as a black person, why you created me like this, so they cannot answer. They say, no, God gave like you came like that, that's all. So it means this even this creation of this body is not by us. So this is in the universal creation. No? It is in that whole creation, we are just part of that. In that sense, this body and everything is created by God only. Now, what you asked, the same question is asked in Brahma Sutra. There is a discussion on this. There the opponents ask, so you say everything is created by the supreme consciousness, and the material cause and efficient cause, everything is supreme consciousness. If there is no creation by Jiva, then what is the meaning of this Jiva? Why the Jiva is there? So he asked that. Then the answer is this. You see, whatever is done by Jiva is because of his karma. So this karma once he did some karma, and with that karma, again he takes the new birth. But this is okay. So now the new birth is there, and now the action is there, reaction is there. This is all done by Jiva, but with the blessings or the guidance or the control of Ishvara. But then it said, now after taking birth, he is suffering from the misidentification and suffering from all these superimpositions and confusions, and all this happens. Now, who created this? This is the problem we are facing. So there it is said, Ishvara never creates confusion. He is not responsible for creating confusion. He is not responsible for this bad experiences. So that is because his karma is like that. So this way it is answered. So at some part, as the elemental level, when we think, the elements are created by Ishvara only. And the manifestation, that is true, the superimposed effects, that those are created by our minds. So this is the difference. That is called the Jagradadi, and the waking state, dream state, and whatever we experience there is created by Jiva.
Hari Om Swamiji, thank you.
Oh, Hari. Yeah.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om.
It is on the lighter note, when people daydream, so you are very much in the waking state. That is one level of consciousness you are already in. But the mind projects the second level of the dream state in your waking state. You are aware of the waking state, also you are experiencing the daydreaming state.
Yeah, correct.
How this the mind switchovers, which not necessary that you have to go to sleep to have your dream state.
Yes, very correct. It's also possible. This is a trick of mind. Mind has such abilities. It can create daydream and then identify with that. And if it is too much into that, then it become a psychological problem. No, you know that. Then people is always they're always in that daydream. So this is all the tricks of mind. Mind has so many qualities, because the imaginary power of mind, the imagination, how mind has so much capacity to imagine. That is the special quality of mind. And sometimes, after imagination, if something is imagined, the mind identifies that and is just enjoying the whatever is imagined there. So this is how we enjoy the daydream. It's a special quality of mind. So we can say that even in waking state, it is experienced. Because always the Sukshma Sharira is always there. It's a part of Sthula Sharira. Any other question? Okay.
No other questions.
So we conclude today's session. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.